everyone, and welcome to Fashion Bulb's instruction videos. In this video we're going to share with you some tips on how to make lace belts or lace headbands. Here you can see the red lace belt that I made for one of our clothing kits. That's in elastic lace that I used in this case. I've also made this black lace belt with black elastic lace and this white headband using white elastic lace. For the red lace belt, I stitched the two sides of the lace, so one stitch to the left and to the right, and then pulled the lace through the belt so that the stitches remain on the inside of the lace. For the black lace belt, I used a black thread to stitch the belt on the left and on the right end without pulling it through the fabric, so the stitches are on the outside. And then finally, to end it, I stitched together the loose end of the belt. To get the best idea of how much length you will need, I suggest folding the lace in two and then kind of measuring how much you will actually need for a belt and cutting it. Always try to have more fabric than you think you will need, just because you never know and it's always easier to cut. We will be using this white elastic floral lace for this video. The first thing that you can do to get a lace belt is just fold the fabric in two. And if you're working with an elastic belt, you can just tie it on ribbon behind your back and you will have an elastic lace belt that will actually stay where it's supposed to. You can do the same thing for a headband. Basically, you just want to tie it and you'll be good to go. This is kind of the easy fix for belts. If you want something sturdier, then there's different ways to go about it. Another easy way to deal with this is to take the lace, fold it in two again, and then just stitch one side of the lace using a thread that is the same color. In this case, I'm using a white thread, and I've also set the stitch length to number 3, which is the longer stitches. If I set it to number 1, sometimes the lace gets caught in the needle. And also I'm going to be using the straight stitch because with this basic model of sewing machine, I really don't want to risk it with a zigzag. So basically I'm just going to fold this in two and stitch along one end of the lace. So you want to make sure that your ends are aligned like this in the end, and then just start sewing. This is easier if you have a sewing machine. You can also obviously do it by hand. Okay, so now that we've stitched one side of the lace, what you will have is something like this, where the lace is stitched. Next we'll need to finish the ends of the lace. You can do that either by hand or using a sewing machine. It might be easier to just do it by hand, but since I have this threaded, I can use it anyways. Leave plenty of room to the right of your fabric and then just stitch it up. Okay, you can also strengthen this by using the reverse stitch. So once you're done sewing, just push the reverse stitch lever down and you will stitch on reverse. And you can just fold it and again put it just around your waist and kind of tie it on a ribbon. So this gives us just a little bit more sturdiness than the first option, which was using only the lace without any stitching. If you want to make something more elaborate, you can also stitch the other side of the fabric. So not only am I going to be stitching the fabric on the left, but also on the right side. So in the case of this one, for example, I actually stitched it on the left and on the right side. And in the end, again, you can end the belt either by hand or by using the machine. This belt is actually made that way, so I have one stitch on the left and one stitch on the right. Here the belt is just folded from the fabric, and on the other end I kind of stitched it together with the machine, but you can also very easily do that by hand. A third way to go about making that belt is by essentially pulling the lace through the belt. To do that, you'll need to stitch the left side and the right side, leaving enough room between the two stitches, and then you're going to leave the end loose and essentially pull it all the way through that hole. So this here is going to be loose and we're going to pull the belt up from here. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch the other side of the belt again with my sewing machine. Make sure that one of the ends is loose so that we can pull the lace. Okay, find the loose end and then you can just start pulling the lace through. This will be easier if you have enough room between the two stitches, so leave enough. By doing this, you would also make the belt thinner. You're gonna lose some of the width of the lace and you won't be able to see the stitches. Okay, so this might take a while because my stitches are actually quite close one to the other, but bear with me here and soon we'll have our lace belt. The result will be something like this, where essentially the stitches are inside the belt. We hope this video was helpful. Subscribe to our channel for more do-it-yourself instruction videos on how to use our clothing kits. You can also visit our website fashionbulb.com to check out our new clothing kits and connect on social media to share your style with us. Thanks for watching.